Another perhaps not so sexy matchup in terms of two great defenses going up. Not expecting a huge amount of points in this one either, Tom. Your Baltimore Ravens go up against the best defense in the league, Cleveland Browns. You expecting big things?
It's going to be tricky. Obviously, the last game was when Deshaun Watson bottled out of it on the day and decided that he couldn't play despite being medically cleared. So it'll be interesting to see what he's like. Yes, he looked okay last week, but his completion percentage against the Cardinals was 63%. The Cardinals have allowed all but two other quarterbacks to have a higher rate than that. So it wasn't like he came out and was automatically great in a matchup that was very straightforward. So now against the Ravens, who've been excellent at limiting deep shots, and on the road in Baltimore, it'll make for quite an interesting game. I think really what we're looking for is just what do the running games look like? Kareem Hunt's had 5 touchdowns in his last 4 games. Jerome Ford's averaged 75 yards per game over the last 4. Can either of them separate from the other? It felt a little bit like it's been more Jerome Ford is getting a little bit more of the work as he's kind of gotten back from that. It's called a high ankle sprain, but I'm not sure that it really was if he was back on the field so quickly. And then on the Ravens side, Gus Edwards, 6 touchdowns in the last 3 games. There is going to be regression there. It's been frustrating for people with Lamar Jackson in fantasy leagues because he's had back-to-back low scores. But Gus Edwards isn't going to keep scoring touchdowns at this rate. I think it's going to be, there are going to be games where Lamar blows up through the air. He leads the league in completion rate. He's been fantastic. So, yeah, like you said, this one, the strength of both teams at the minute is how their defenses have been playing. The Ravens, though, they do have a 115 point differential, which is 30 more than any other team. They have been able to absolutely run up the score in the first quarters, and hopefully Keaton Mitchell is healthy. He got added to the injury report today with a hamstring injury, which is what kind of he's bothered him just slightly. But yeah, it was a great performance of the weekend with 134 yards, 1 touchdown, RB5 last week, the number 1 rated running back by PFF. If he plays, I'm probably not starting him in redraft. I think you could take some shots in large field DFS tournaments, but I'd be a little bit hesitant to just suddenly give him a massive workload. But yeah, I think Mark Andrews definitely in play. Small stacks would be the way I'd take this game on in DFS. Lamar with Mark Andrews, because nobody wants to play Lamar Jackson lately, and he is the tight end too, leads the position in touchdowns with 6, scored 2 against the Browns last time they played, has decent numbers against the Browns throughout his career. And hopefully the wide receivers, we see Zay Flowers get used a bit more downfield. We see Rashad Bateman start to connect, because I know both of us feel pretty good about what Bateman's been doing on film lately.
Yeah, been really impressed with Bateman from a film perspective. I think he's looking healthier than he's looked in probably 2.5 years. I think he's getting separation, really excited. Obviously, Zay Flowers was a massive disappointment last week. I think the talent's still there. I think the usage... I think we're starting to see this team basically try to utilize all these options, and that's going to limit the amount of manufactured touches that Zay Flowers can get. I still think he's going to be good. I still think he's going to get his. It's just this offense needs to kind of settle in. I am a little bit concerned that the hype may be going a little bit too far on Keaton Mitchell. I was a massive fan in the offseason. I've got a hell of a lot of Dynasty shares. But I think this is still going to be a 3-headed backfield. I think Gus Edwards is, he's such a good short yardage back that he's going to carry those goal line touches. Justice Hill is so good in pass pro that he's going to be utilized as that receiving back. And I think Mitchell at best is going to be a change of pace, explosive option. I don't think he's ever going to be a 15 touch a game guy. So you're basically hoping for a decent game script for him to be usable for fantasy. So I'm just a little bit nervous there.
The one thing I'd just push back on is Justice Hill has fumbled the ball or led to fumbles at a crazy amount of rate. Lamar's been credited with some of these fumbles, and it's the mesh point in all these run-pass option type plays that it just doesn't seem to be there between Justice Hill and Lamar Jackson. So if Keaton Mitchell is better in that area of the game, I would not be surprised at all to see him edging ahead of Justice Hill. But I don't think he can surpass Gus Edwards anytime soon.
No, absolutely. But then I think you've also got to look at, Justice Hill has been kept into pass pro more than any other back on this offense. I think that's the element that's going to keep Justice Hill on the field as such. Credit to Rory for picking up on my bait that was trying to get you to talk about how good the Browns defense were, but not there. My other nugget I just wanted to add in, Amari Cooper has been getting it done with Deshaun Watson so far this year. He's averaging only 10 points a game with Deshaun Watson on the sidelines, where he's averaging over 15.3 points per game with Deshaun Watson in the lineup. So, yes, tough matchup this week, probably going up against Marlon Humphrey, but hopefully when Watson's playing, it's been good things for Amari Cooper.
I just gotta say though, Amari Cooper playing on the road, Amari Cooper's narrative, he likes to be in his own bed when he's on the road, dating all the way back to the time with the Raiders. His home road splits are volatile, and I think also a throw in Marcus Williams looks to be off the injury report and should be back this week. I don't think the Ravens are going to be giving up many deep plays, and it might need to be a volume-based game rather than picking up large amounts of yardage for Cooper, in my humble Baltimore Ravens bias opinion.
Of course, completely unbiased there.